Growing up, I was always told that art isn't a fundable career. You can't really make a living off of just being an artist. So it was always more of a hobby and a passion that I had rather than I'm solidifying my decision to become an artist in my future. So in the fifth grade, I was more into drawing. That was when my love for art first started flourishing and the roots of it were being planted. My fifth grade teacher, Mr. Lesner, was an art teacher, I believe, but he also had a very huge passion for art and artistic expression. We went on a couple field trips to MoCA, the Museum of Contemporary Art, and that kind of helped solidify my love for art. For me, drawing was a coping mechanism in the sense of that was the place I can escape my reality from. I can make my own reality on paper. And at the time, around fifth grade-ish, I was hugely into comics. Comics were always around. I remember one of my cousins had just it was this big Forever 21 bag full of comic books. And then there was another box that I discovered full of even more comic books. So my mind was blown. I was like, whoa, this is gonna be fun. And I just started reading through them. And at the time I started designing my own little comic, you could say. It was just kind of a superhero from my neighborhood, which at the time wasn't in the place you could say it is now. I guess Venice growing up for me was a whole lot different than what it is now. So kind of being able to create this beacon of positivity from such a negative influence around me, it helped me in a way to show like, okay, you know what, like if I'm having these thoughts and putting them on paper, there's definitely, hope. There's definitely a way out of bad situations. It's just a matter of focusing on the good instead of all the negativity that's around you. And so that's kind of how drawing was able to help me stay focused on doing what I needed to do. Aside from dad being out of the house, there was a lot of tension in the household due to outside influences. So I often found myself just grabbing whatever sketchbook I had or piece of paper. I'd grab a pencil and I'd just go outside, find a spot, and start drawing. And around this time too, I started becoming more in contact with the UPS driver of my neighborhood, who also his name is Frank. He's another person who just genuinely encouraged me to pursue art. I remember he saw me drawing one day and he started telling me about one of his relatives. I forget if it was a cousin or a brother, but it was one of his relatives or somebody he knew that was an animator for Disney and a designer for Disney. And it was at that time that he started telling me like, no, you can definitely make a career out of art. It's more of choosing what you want to do in life. It's like, do I want to be an animator? Do I want to be a comic book designer? Do I want to be a digital painter? He said that at the time that was definitely becoming big. And so he told me there's definitely resources and careers for art. It's a matter of choosing which one appeals to you and making that work for your situation. When it comes to art, one thing that I've learned just through the years in general, you can mold whatever art form you're doing to fit your necessities, to help you out when it comes to paying rent or having to buy groceries for the house. Any form of art, you can make it work. It's a matter of putting in the effort, like, and showing that you really want to make it work. If people see that you're doing something and you're putting your genuine passion and drive into it, they tend to react in kind or show support because it's, wow, this is somebody that's actually putting in the work to go ahead and get something done. They're not just sitting around.